Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, that's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides and the universal energies. Okay, a lot of stuff has been covered by so many readers at the moment, so I'm going to stick at the moment with the unusual that my guides are bringing to my attention. So I do want to have a look at it, and I'll do it tomorrow. It's actually more of an interest thing, adventure, exploration, etc. If you remember footage from the visit the other day of the regime cabal to China, and they had the line up and the shaking of the hands, etc., happening, and Xi was walking down the aisle, down the line, and shaking the hands of all that went with the Orange Idiot. He stopped at Miller for quite a long time and looked him up and down. Now, what I got from that, and I'm going to have a look at it tomorrow, I want to do a past life reading because I've done a past life reading on Miller, and I've gotten that he was actually Heinrich Himmler in a previous life, who was the head of the SS and was the architect of the concentration extermination camps and the death squads and all that. I think Xi recognized him on a soul level. So I want to have a look at past life for Xi, and I actually feel like they were on opposing sides. So I'm going to tomorrow. I'll do a post life reading on Xi and see if I can find out where their connection was. It may not have been that particular lifetime, but I want to have a look to see where that connection was. And I'm also going to have a look at the data centers, but from a slightly different point of view. Again, if nothing major happens overnight, I'll have another look at the data center. I'll have a look at the data centers. A lot of people, or should we say, surveillance centers. A lot of people a lot of readers are getting that they will pretty much be disused. I'm actually getting what happens thereafter, and that they will be turned into quite nice housing with a huge, because they are huge, with a massive park in the middle, like think Central Park type park, not that big, but pretty massive park in the middle, and where they will actually be self-sufficient communities, producing their own electricity, harvesting their own water, etc. So the complete opposite of what these data centers are being set up for. That's what my guides are giving me. But what I want to have a look at, and this is a little bit different because my guides like to take us somewhere different, and I'm going to use the Osho Zen cards, tarot cards. These were my mother's cards, and they do like to use them when we're looking at something a little bit more out of the ordinary. So I read on Friday in regards to 2021 and the Hadrian Collider, the CERN Collider with the timeline shift, etc. And I'm like, what happened in 2021? Well, there was a lot happened in 2021, including Obama giving the White House correspondence speech, absolutely hilariously laying into the Orange Idiot. And if you're wondering why I call him that, because he's orange and he's an idiot, laying into the Orange Idiot. And this is 2021. This was before the election cycle was kicking off or anything like that. He may have made murmurs about, I don't even know what he said, but we know what happened in 2015 going forward. But it planted the seeds into the Orange Idiot, where he then became determined to step into this vindictive presidential role. But also what I'm getting in regards to that is that you sort of go, oh, if only we could go back, and Obama didn't give that speech, which obviously riled him up, where he then said yes. I get the feeling that was when the Orange Idiot said yes to being backed by those that needed a puppet to put forward. And I think the reason why it happened is that humanity had been given the opportunity to step up and stop all this that was going on behind the scenes in the swamp. And we'd been given the opportunity over and over and over again. And it was sort of the feather the brick, the Mack truck, and we were at the Mack truck situation where the universe pretty much said, nah, this timeline ain't working because humanity's not doing what it needs to do. We need to really ramp things up. And it ramped things up on us. But what I've also got to remember is that 2012 was also the year where the Mesoamerican calendar switched into a new cycle. So this is the Mayan calendar. Now remember there was this, oh, the world is going to end and all the rest of it. Well, no, it wasn't really. It was just the end of a cycle, end of the Mesoamerican calendar system, which the Mayans really embraced, and that's why it's called the Mayan calendar, and switched into a new cycle. So we're in this new era. Now what happened? The calendar is a cycle of 5,125 years long. So what happened 5,125 years ago? Well, not exactly in that year, but around that period. It was early Bronze Age, but it was the invention of the wheel. Happened. That 5,100 and a bit years ago was the invention of the wheel. It was the rise of the first Egyptian pharaoh dynasty, or dynasty, however you like to pronounce it. It's also when the Ness of Brogda was first created around that time as well. So this was very much a shift into, and I'm talking about wheel, I'm talking about weaponry, I'm talking about dynasties or dynasties, you know, however you like to pronounce it. It was very much a shift of a cycle into a more, if I say, I mean, I know we use the words masculine and feminine. We're not talking about male and female, but the masculine is very much more about the external, about aggression, about dominance, about just sort of more of an earth-based solidness about it. So it was the start of the masculine cycle. Now, what I found really interesting was I then looked up the actual numbers. So 5,125 years ago was 3,113 BC. I don't think they call it BC. It was sort of before and after. There's a different before and after, but I'll stick to the BC AD because that's what I was brought up with. So I was quite curious and I went to have a look up the actual numerology of the numbers involved because I was really caught by the 2 5s in the first number, 5125, and 1 and 2, very significant numbers. And then in the second number, the 2 3s and the double 1 as well. So I looked up what these all mean. So the cycle 5,125 years ago, the 5s are about a challenge, an instability, a transition, a conflict that brings this transition. So if I'm looking at the 5125, you've got 2 of those, one at the start, one at the end, starting and ending of the cycle. In the middle, you've got the 1 and the 2, which the 1 is very much about visionary and soul and new starts and new beginnings. So you've got the conflict, the new beginning, and then you've got the 2, which is signified by the High Priestess, which is about a rise of spirituality, a rise of enlightenment, a rise of personal choice. So we've got conflict, new start, the rise in spirituality, and conflict as that particular period. The actual year, 3,113 BC, the 3 is very much a bit about, it's the Empress card. It's about community, it's about healing, it's about setting something in motion. So we've got the birth of something new, setting something in motion. We've then got the vision, soul, new start, double 1 of those, and then again we've got the setting something in motion that brings about healing and community. So I was just really fascinated by the 2 sets of numbers there. But what I want to have a look at, so 2012, we ended the Mesoamerican calendar cycle, also known as the Mayan calendar cycle. The numerology is really, really interesting. A lot happened in 2012. There was the CERN event, particle accelerator event. You had things like Obama getting elected for the second time and absolutely flogging into the orange idiot at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. You guys could come up with a zillion things. And I actually thought of something else that happened before then that I was sure of, and now when I look back on it, it apparently didn't happen, but I can't remember what it was. I remembered it while I was driving yesterday. But I want to have a look at using these cards. So we are now in the transition of a new Mesoamerican calendar. The last time this flipped, switched, turned was the invention of the wheel. Now, what's being invented now? Technology. And it was the rise of the beginning of the first Egyptian pharaoh dynasty or dynasty. So very much this masculine energy. We're now moved into this new, where there's this new inventing, and we're moving into this feminine energy, spiritual feminine energy. So let's have a look. Tell me about, am I right? Am I right using these cards? Am I right in this feels, this interpretation that I'm getting? And I'm going to ask what the future is going to hold. So come on down. Sorry about the big long explanation. So the first card out, we've got rightness, which is the Nine of Pentacles in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Rightness, the independent. Okay, I'm being drawn to the image that's in there, and I'm going to grab my deck, and I do apologize if this reading takes a little while because I'll be doubling up. But this is very much, I'm just going to pull the card out because it's giving me the image from the Rider-Waite deck. And I'll just quickly zap through and see if I can find it. You can guarantee it'll be the last one I come across. It's the female choosing, because we are in this era of choice. That's what the numerology of it means as well. Choice, independent female, choosing what they are intuitively drawn to rather than what is expected of them. And that's what women are doing at the moment. So it's not, okay, this card here. You've got the independent female wearing white, choosing the pentacle that they are intuitively drawn to, the opportunity, because pentacles are about opportunity. You've also got the white raven here as well, which is a symbol of blessing, and spirituality. It is not what is expected of them already, what they get told to do. It is not what is the easiest to harvest, and it is not what is the brightest and blingiest. This is about women choosing what they are intuitively drawn to in regards to opportunities going forward. Okay, so there's the rightness card. Actually, I'm going to tuck that under there because it just feels right. Okay, the challenge is we've got the maturity card. Again, it's a pentacle, and it's the Ace of Pentacles. Well, second signifier, opportunities. Now again, look at the creativity occurring within the mind of this feminine energy. So it's a new beginning, a new opportunity is being presented. At the foundation, we've got the Master, which is, what have we got here? Oh, I'm going to say it is a card that doesn't have a Rider-Waite equivalent. The Master. Now, if I zip over to the book here, I have had this card before, and it's, let me find it and just read to you about it. If I can find it. The Master, here it is. Masters don't teach to the truth because there is no way to teach it. It is a transmission beyond the scriptures, beyond words. It is a transmission. It is energy, provoking energy. It is the synchronicity. So this is what this Master card is. All caterpillars are Bohesavas, and all Bohesavas are caterpillars. Remember we were talking about on Friday about caterpillars becoming butterflies, or Thursday, or whatever it was. And this, so all caterpillars, and the name for caterpillars are those means that one who can become a butterfly. So in Buddhism, these are Buddhism cards. This is about opening your heart. This is about being aware. Okay, wow. The butterfly cannot prove that the caterpillar can become a butterfly. There is no logical way, but the butterfly can provoke a longing in the caterpillar. So this is about a spiritual ascension. Okay, I'm liking this. In the past, we've got going with the flow. This is the Ace of Cups. New emotional start, new emotional awakening, new spiritual awakening. So we've got 2 pentacles so far. 2 pentacles, the independent female making an intuitive decision, and we've got the highest of spirituality cards here. We've then got the Eight of Cups. This is about letting go, walking away from what no longer serves you, walking towards what you are intuitively drawn to on an emotional level. We've got the Mind here. This is the Knight of Swords, the truth, the chaos in the mind in the immediate future, the melting of the lies, the truth being exposed in the immediate future. You've then got the Magician, the ability to manifest existence, the ability to manifest. So this is what this new era is about. Sitting in your knowledge, in your space, and observing the stars, dreaming of what is possible. And then we have the flowering. This is the Queen of Pentacles. Again, the feminine energy, bringing forward the opportunities internally, looking at, on an internal level, the opportunities that are being presented. We've got rebirth here. This is the Ten of Swords in the hopes and fears. The rebirth, the ending and the beginning, taming the beast and being rebirthed. The phoenix rising. Ooh, the outcome, politics with the snake in the path there. Icky card, the Seven of Swords. The lies of politics, the lies of the snake, the mask being unmasked, being exposed, the lies being exposed. And we then have transformation. We've got a lot of major arcana here. So this is the Death card. The lies of the politicians being exposed, that's going to bring about a significant ending and a new beginning. And another major arcana, the Innocence. the World card. Patience, grasshopper, it is coming. Again, end of a cycle, end of an era, new era, but the innocence of this new rebirth. The birth of the wisdom and the new. Oh, I love these cards. And then we have the King of Cups, healing. The emotionally mature and the healing. The healing from the Ten of Wands, the suppression. The healing from the suppression. The going within, the Four of Swords. The going within and doing the work necessary. And the Three of Wands. Experiencing the inevitability, the experiencing. Some will make it to the other side, some won't. We've got the schizophrenic, Two of Swords card. You've got the Eight of Swords, the guilt, and then we have the Tower. Tower tearing down the devil, conditioning to the devil, chain to the devil. The Six of Swords, burden, the burden of it. But then we have the Ten of Cups, the burden that needs to be overcome. Moving forward from being trapped in this position to being trapped in this position by those that think they are riding you, thinking they are leaders. We've got the harmony, the coming together, and the Ace of Wands, new beginning. I mean, it looks like the Sun card as well, but the source, the Ace of Wands coming forward, and then we've got the Wheel of Fortune turning with change. Okay, I like these cards. So, yes, we are at the end of a cycle, the beginning of a new cycle, the end of a cycle, the beginning of a new cycle. The lies of the politics being unmasked, bringing about in the process a tower moment, a change moment, where those that tied themselves to the devil, that are riding those that actually do all the work, are going to find themselves going through a dramatic change as the people come together in harmony and harmony with earth. Okay, so this is the change that we're going through at the moment, which is very much about, oh, sorry, I had an extra card in there. The feminine energy, choosing what they are intuitively drawn to, not what is expected of them. Okay, I'll just throw a couple of cards. I just thought this was quite interesting, the fact that it's the Mayan calendar. I'll just throw a couple of cards with the Light Seers Tarot, put that back randomly and have a shuffle just to finish up for today, because the energy feels different. It feels good. It feels like we're not at the culmination point where everything's going to explode just yet, but boy, oh boy, is it really ramping up. Stay out of the way, but it feels like I needed to read this as a completion to the chrysalis reading of the other week. Let's have a look. And the CERN reading. What do we need to know? Give me some cards. Let's see how they go. To finish up, the world. End of a cycle. 2012 was the end of the cycle. It meant that that old cycle needed to be removed and the new installed. And I mean, I know it was 14 years ago. Things do not happen overnight, but the world, the Four of Pentacles, holding on to what is really important in the face of this Five of Swords energy, which is the abuse of power, betrayal, but also stepping out of your own mind and stepping into what could be, and the rise of the spirituality and coming together as community over what is really important rather than this fighting. And you've got there the fading misogynistic or the unbalanced relationship. And you've got the Temperance card, the balance between yin and yang. Now, it's not that it's, when we say the rise of the feminine, it's not the feminine overtaking the masculine and trampling it into the dust. It's about, because for the last 5,000 years, we have been in this rise of masculine energy. What is happening is it's a rebalancing of the energies, which those that have had 5,000 years of being supposedly the dominants, the dominators, they don't give it up very easily. So thank you for joining me for that. That was really nice. That just sort of gave a bit of a completion to those readings from the other day. A couple of things I'll have a look at tomorrow. So thank you. Let's see what tonight brings. Love to you all. Take care.